All right, so welcome to this deep dive, and this one is a little different than usual.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it's really kicked off by something that you, the listeners, shared with us.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of those social media posts that just hit a nerve, and you can find the link to the original post in the description. But just a quick heads up, the audio you are hearing is generated by AI.
AI. Gotcha.
Sure, but this deep dive is totally based on that post, what it brought up.
Okay, cool. So like a springboard then.
Exactly. And the heart of the post is, like you were saying earlier, is about this woman who was raised to be and really became super self-sufficient.
Like what? Changing your own tires, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Changing tires, managing her own finances, the whole nine yards. But here's the thing, and this is where it gets really interesting. She talks about this unexpected fatigue that she feels.
Like burnout.
Kind of, yeah. But it's deeper than that, almost like, and this is where all the online chatter is going, like maybe an energetic imbalance.
Hmm. That's interesting. So this one woman's experience is making people think about these bigger energy dynamics.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to do in this deep dive. We really want to explore this feeling, this sense of misalignment, and the desire for more ease and gentleness without losing that sense of capability.
Right. Because you don't want to give up being strong and independent. Just find a better way to do it, maybe.
Exactly. So let's start with this idea of the superwoman syndrome, which gets thrown around a lot.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely heard that one before.
The author of the post starts by laying out how she was brought up.
Mm.
Be resourceful, be independent.
Okay, sure. So like what kind of stuff, what did her parents actually do?
Well, she talked about learning to change tires, fixing things around the house, being totally in charge of her own money.
I mean, those are definitely good skills, right? It feels good to know you can handle things yourself.
Absolutely. But, and this is what she points out so honestly, this constant self-reliance can really take a toll. It's like all that doing, all that providing, it just adds up.
Yeah, especially for women, I think. I mean, there's already so much pressure on them to do it all.
Right. So this empowerment, this idea of being able to do everything yourself, it can kind of backfire and become this burden.
Yeah, no, totally. I see what you mean.
And this is where the shift happens. Because even though she achieved this independence, she describes it as unimaginably tiring.
Wow. Unimaginably tiring.
That's pretty intense. Right. And she even hints that maybe this independence is a bit overrated. What do you think about that?
I think there's something really brave about admitting that,
Yeah.
especially when it's something you've been striving for your whole life. And the fatigue she's describing, it doesn't sound just physical. It sounds more like this deep emotional weariness.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, constantly being on and having to handle everything yourself, it's bound to drain you.
Right. Absolutely. And it makes you wonder how many other people are feeling this way too, even if they don't talk about it.
For sure. So then she goes into feminine and masculine energy, which is interesting because she says a few years ago she would have dismissed the whole thing.
Oh, really? So what changed?
That's a great question. I think it was just life. Living it, experiencing that exhaustion, it probably opened her up to new ideas.
That makes sense. It's like when you hit a wall, you're more willing to try something different.
Exactly. And the way feminine and masculine energy is often talked about, it's not about strict gender roles, it's more about ways of being.
Oh, okay. So not just women are like this, men are like that kind of thing.
No, not at all. It's more like masculine energy is about doing, achieving, providing, while feminine is about being, receiving, nurturing, that kind of thing.
Okay. I'm starting to see how that fits into her experience. Like maybe she's been operating too much from that masculine side.
Exactly. And it's important to remember she's not saying she's unhappy with herself as a woman. She likes who she is. Her looks, her personality, her intelligence, all of it.
Okay. So it's not a self-esteem thing.
Yeah.
It's more about something being out of balance.
That's it.
Yeah.
And she actually says her femininity has a rather masculine character, which is such an interesting way to put it.
Masculine character.
Hmm.
So what does that look like in real life?
She gives some great examples, like always opening doors for herself, pulling out her own chair, never accepting help from others.
And she doesn't want help, even when it would be easier.
Well, she says she's actually asking for help more these days, which she finds kind of ironic.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's like she knows she needs help, but she still has this impulse to do everything herself.
Exactly. And it's not just about specific tasks. It's this whole mindset of, I've got this.
Right. Like she has to prove she can handle it all.
And she's also really good at getting things done, always proactive, but there's this constant pressure, this feeling of being On now, on yesterday, always too slow.
Wow. Always too slow. That really captures that feeling of never being able to relax.
Right. And what's crazy is she says she didn't even realize there was another way to be. It just becomes so normal.
Wow, that's kind of sad. Like, she couldn't even imagine a different way of approaching life.
So here's where things shift again. She's taken this online marketing course, totally ordinary, not some self-discovery retreat or anything.
Uh-huh. So what happened?
She's watching this other woman, Victoria Kwiatkowska, and she's totally mesmerized.
Like, what was this woman super successful or something?
It wasn't about that. It was her ease of movement, lightness, and being present. She just had this way about her that was totally different from the author's experience.
So it was more about her energy, how she carried herself.
Exactly. And the author calls it feminine energy. And she even admits to feeling true envy. She says, I want that too. To simply be a woman. To enjoy it without pressure.
Wow, that's really powerful. It's like she finally sees a different possibility, a way to be a woman that feels more, I don't know, more joyful.
Yeah, and more peaceful, less pressured. And then comes this big realization, being capable and feminine aren't mutually exclusive.
Oh, that's a good point. You can be strong and independent and still have that feminine energy.
Exactly. And she uses Victoria Kwiatkowska as an example, someone who embodies both.
Right, so it's not an either or thing. It's about finding that balance.
And she says something really beautiful. There is nothing wrong with allowing others to take care of us, to let ourselves be helped, to act together.
That's really profound. I think a lot of people, especially women, struggle with that. Like, it feels wrong to accept help, like you're admitting weakness or something.
Yeah, it's like we're conditioned to believe we have to do it all ourselves.
And that's just not sustainable in the long run, is it?
Nope. So she talks about this ongoing journey and what she calls hamawani, which is Polish for breaking or slowing down.
So, like, hitting the pause button on her life.
Exactly. And she's really honest about how this isn't a quick fix. She even thought she had already found her femininity before this.
It's interesting how we can think we've got something figured out, and then life throws us a curveball, and we realize there's so much more to learn.
Totally. And her reason for pulling the handbrake is really powerful. She's afraid of becoming an overworked, constantly dissatisfied, nagging, and irritated woman, partner, and future mother.
Wow, that's a pretty stark image,
Yeah.
but also really relatable, I think.
Right. It's like she's seeing where this path leads if she doesn't change course.
So what's her plan now? How is she approaching this slowing down?
Well, she's planning to reflect at the end of the year and see how things have shifted. And what's really interesting is she thinks she might receive what she truly needs rather than what she thinks she wants, and that the challenge will be recognizing it.
That's a great point. Sometimes what we think we want is not actually what's best for us.
Right. So to sum up, we've been exploring this idea that pushing for constant self-reliance, even when it's fueled by masculine energy, can lead to some serious exhaustion, especially for women. And there's this deep yearning for more peace, more gentleness, and permission to actually receive support without feeling daddy.
And it's not about giving up your independence or your strength. It's about recognizing that there's another way to be in the world, a way that allows for more ease and flow.
Exactly. And sometimes all it takes is seeing someone else embody that energy to realize it's possible for us too. So to bring it back to you, our listeners, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever felt that weight of constant self-sufficiency? Have you ever longed for more gentleness in your life?
And here's a question to ponder as you go about your day. What would happen if you consciously shifted your focus and energy, even in small ways, to allow for more receiving, more support, more being? It might just surprise you.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.